Chapter 3. Detained by the police. I don't know how to start this arc. I don't know how to start the story. Okay, Tuesday passes. I've cleaned up as much of my space as possible. I've gotten rid of all my food. I fall asleep dead. Like, dead as dead. I fall asleep dead as dead. And I wake up Wednesday morning, tired, beaten by life, sleeping on what is probably a centipede-infested bed. But I get up. I drag myself off that centipede-infested floor. I get dressed. And I go to buy some cookies! And honestly, okay, the grocery trip isn't that bad, okay? We got kind of cookies. They're filled with like this custard cream. And so, okay, I go shopping and I go buy a box of cookies. And here's the thing, okay? One of my friends is flying into town this weekend. And I think, she's coming in, and although she's not staying with me, I will be seeing her. Therefore, I should get her a little, a little present. Like, hi, welcome to, Canada type beat, right? So I'm walking around the grocery store, whatever. I get another box of cookies, okay? So I walk out of a grocery store with, these 2 boxes of cookies, okay? And at the grocery store, we don't have plastic bags here anymore. So they ask me if I need a bag for my cookies. And I say, no, it's okay. Because they're in boxes. You can just walk with your cookie boxes. So I pay for my cookies. I take my cookies and I start walking with my boxes of cookies. I did have a receipt. This is where the story gets so ridiculous because it's so clear that I paid for these cookies. And I'm walking. I make it about 2 blocks. Fucking blocks. Keep in mind, I'm hard of hearing. And this officer comes up behind me. I guess he had been following me since I left the grocery store. This wasn't even a security guard, okay? This wasn't like a Garda World security guard. This was a fully uniformed officer. I make it 2 blocks when I finally hear him and he stops me and I turn around. And my family has taught me how to deal with officers before, I think. So he's asking me questions. He's just like, ma'am, where are you coming from? And I'm just like, I just went to the grocery store. And he's just like, okay, what's in those boxes?
What's in the fucking box?
And I look at him and I'm a little baffled. And also I was just stopped by a cop. So I'm a little bit flustered, right? And I'm just like, cookies. Cookies are in those boxes. They are clearly labeled as cookies. Did he think you were dealing drugs? We'll get to that. Okay? And he's asking me questions and he's just like, do you have a receipt for those cookies? And I was just like, yes. I show him the receipt and he's just like, may I please see some ID? And I say yes. I show him my ID. He hands my ID back to me. And then he's just like, okay, have a nice day, ma'am. I'm just like, okay, that was a weird interaction, but it's over now. I walk another block. The officer comes back around. It was not over. And he goes, ma'am, have you ever been stopped by an officer before? I say no, because no. I think he was hitting on you. No. Well, what happens next is he tells me, ma'am, I just have a few more questions for you. Do you mind coming back around to my vehicle? And I'm just like, sure. Okay. Licensed officer. I'm not going to say no. I'm very scared. I know I probably have rights. I probably don't need to go over there, but I blank. I'm very scared in this moment. I'm alone. I am just a girl alone with my boxes of cookies. And so I follow him back to his vehicle. And I'm sitting there on the curb. He asks me to sit down, so I sit on the curb. And he's just like, may I look for your items? And I'm just like, sure, go ahead. There's nothing in them, okay? He goes through my purse and he goes through my cookies. He inspects the fucking cookies. And he inspects my purse. He's pulling things out of my purse. He pulls out my wallet and he's just like, where did you get this? And I was just like, X department store 2020. It was a Christmas gift. And he opens it up, goes through it, takes out my cash, and he's just like, is this all your cash? I say yes. I had maybe $60. Puts it back, whatever. Pulls out my medication. They're allergy medicine. It's literally a thing of Costco allergy meds. And he asks, ma'am, have you ever done recreational drugs? And I'm answering all his questions as truthfully as possible. He quizzes me on my home address. He's like quizzing me on what's in my bag. And I'm just like, allergy meds, my wallet, 2 phones. He asks why I have 2 phones. I explain one of them is personal and one of them is for work. He asks why I need 2 phones for work. He asks what I do. Okay, on that note, I do lie about what I do. I did lie because, listen, explaining VTubing is the whole thing. So I usually just say e-commerce for anime goods. Eventually, I get all this stuff back. I get all my stuff back. He gives me the cookies and he's just like, yeah, next time just grab a bag from a grocery store. I just pulled you aside because you looked suspicious. Have a nice day. He detained me for 2 hours. And I walk the rest of the way home. That's harassment if I would complain. I know I'm supposed to. And like, that was definitely power tripping. Like the only thing I could think of is like maybe I look like a toad, like, cause someone on Twitter too commented on my post when I posted about this. Someone commented on my post saying like, oh, like I've been pulled aside cause I'm very thin and they might have thought I was a tweaker. And I was just like, you know, like I hadn't slept very well the night prior. I definitely like don't usually leave my house looking that shitty, but I definitely left the house looking really shitty. So I'm thinking like he must have thought I was a total tweaker. I also have a lot of like really nervous tics, right? Like I'll bite my bottom lip sometimes. And I'm very twitchy. So I'm just like, I must have just like looked like a total fucking tweaker to him. But I had my ID on me. I had my ID on me as I should. Okay. I had money in my wallet. I had a receipt for my goods. And I still got fucking detained. At least I got a good story out of it. So yeah, it took a lot to decompress from all that. It took a lot to decompress from all of that. I haven't even opened my cookies yet. I totally, like, afterwards, I just was, like, in no mood for cookies anymore. Just absolutely no mood.
My fellow brothers, in the face of our common dangers, in this winter of our hardship, remember these timeless words, as we can.